Yeah, you're not just doing an accent, you're doing a personality.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I know. My career is all wrong.
I can tell.
I've been missing out on the moolah for so long. Gucci bag all the way. Pardon? I don't even know how I look like. I could be just all thigh galore for no reason.
How about that? How about no? Let's try that for a little bit. Huh?
Aladdin,
Yes, I can.
I don't appreciate your tone, like my feelings, and your gestures.
I heard this like interesting thing the other day. I mean, this is kind of.
Say it on mic, feel better. Say it on mic, feel better.
Say it in the what so I can feel what?
What do you
Say
think about one person's truth can be the other person's lie?
One person's truth is someone else's lie. I don't get that. Is it because... Are we filming, by the way?
Yes,
huh?
we keep that.
Oh, snap.
Feel bad.
Feel bad? Feel bad? Boo, my personality slaps. But anyway, are we releasing the accent? Okay, yeah. Someone else's truth, someone else's lie. I mean, that can apply to different things. Like your faith, for example. That's your truth. Someone else, that's absolute BS. That's as close as I can see it. Because that's facts on facts for you. And someone else, that's complete lies and shambles.
One person's truth is another person's lie. What if like people... Yeah, because then isn't everything subjective? That's what you say all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Any given opportunity.
Yes, that's how you win every argument.
Even if he gets punched in the face and he's in pain, it's like, oh, it's subjective. I feel great.
It's a concept.
I feel great. He's getting beat up. I was like, this is amazing, guys. punch me harder.
What?
Huh?
Perspective, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, you know what? Yeah, let's talk about internet.
That's what
The
Elon Musk,
internet.
man.
Do you think people? Do you think? Huh?
Elon Musk, man. Start with that one.
No, man. We're gonna
boss
get into
man.
that after.
Please.
No, let's talk about internet first.
Please.
No, it's
I've
gonna
never
listen.
seen you like this. Please, I beg you.
Please. No, but it's gonna connect nicely to Elon Musk buying Twitter, anyways. But internet. Do you think that people actually fully comprehend like the innovation of internet?
No.
Because it's still like it's evolving all the time.
Yeah,
It's
and I
not
think
even-
some people who are born into it don't quite understand. Like they've not seen the growth of it.
But they don't need to see it though.
Yeah, but if you've given something like, do I need to appreciate TV specs getting better if I've just been born into color TV and I'm just like, yeah, cool, say graphics are improving. So if you've seen like no TV to like TV, you have to be hella old, but yeah.
But that's like people taking things for granted anyways. That's like
It's like a default setting, I guess.
yeah, that's a normal thing. Do you think that's built in people, like taking things for granted?
Yeah. But what's the worst thing? Like, what's the thing that we say when a relationship goes bad or someone passes away? I took them for granted. And that's because you were so complacent and so like comfortable going, they ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, so yeah, I feel unappreciated, I'm leaving. And they're like, what? Could you take them for granted?
Do you know what? I have a different perspective on that.
Hit me.
It just came now anyways. But I'm thinking actually for me, it's a thing of like people are comfortable. So like they're within the comfort zone. And like if a person passes away, then they came out of the comfort zone. Or for instance, like let's say like they're comfortable having two legs. If they break one leg, they come out of the comfort zone.
That's true.
So I think it's rather than taking it for granted, I think I'd rather see it as the comfortable.
Yeah, that's like you get complacent. And that's kind of like, because you're that comfortable. And like it's like when I get a paper cut on my pinky and you start realizing how many times your pinky touches something and you're like, rotted, I didn't realize. Because that's peak. Have you ever had a cut on your pinky?
I don't think so.
It's painful. Like literally you're trying to put on something, you're like like even like just trying to like put on your shoes, you're like, no, it's gonna move. Everything's tapping. It's like, I can't escape this pain. But then you don't realize how you needed the pinky is.
Wait, I heard an interesting fact about the pinky toe. Apparently, that's the foundation of your stability. Without the pinky toe, you have no stabilization.
I got a funny story about pinky toe. Have you heard?
Why
it
are we
before?
talking about feet?
No.
My pinky.
No, seriously. You know, in Turkey, I broke my small little toe.
Your pinky toe.
Pinky toe.
We'll call it pinky toe for the sake of conversation.
Yeah, I broke my pinky toe, and basically, because the adrenaline was still like running through my body at the time, so I was just still laughing about it. Because basically, what happened, it was facing like a completely different direction.
Like,
so instead of like being straight, it was facing like left.
It's
And it's
just
just
like,
like,
yeah,
me and my
like,
friend were
guys.
just laughing about it until like I think 5 minutes passed. Yeah,
And it
and
really
the-
kicked in.
Yeah, the adrenaline went. It's just like,
Like, guys, okay,
I
so
was like,
it's funny,
all right,
but
this is not funny no more. And I couldn't for the rest of the holiday. I couldn't walk for like
where were you?
properly.
Yeah.
Turkey.
Turkey. Yeah.
Did you call 911?
No, so I had I see what you done there. I like that. I like
But at
that.
the boat, literally, like you lost your pinky toe, or you hurt it, or you
Yeah.
fucking went the wrong direction. You can walk. That is mad to think that the pinky toe is such
Is
a
that a
small,
significant thing?
You can't walk with that.
Yeah,
Like, you can walk if you
my
can't
pinky toe was called after the band called One Direction.
Idiot. Can I ask a question? How many times did you use that joke?
Huh?
Was that just the
No,
first
it's
time?
the first
I'm
time.
impressed. I'm
Yeah,
impressed.
come on.
I'm
That
impressed
joke's for
at the
days.
fact he's made up such a terrible joke.
Are you eating
First.
sweet potato fries?
Let me repeat it. Yeah, my
No
pinky
carbs,
toe
no
was
carbs.
called One Direction. Everyone got that.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom. Sometimes you gotta say it twice so it lands, so it slaps effectively.
Yeah, it slaps in people's face, like literally.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it right there.
I knew, of course, because you took it somewhere else. That's why your brain went somewhere else.
I'm revert back to the prior conversation. This is the worst pod we've done so far. Anyway,
No, this is the best.
best is subjective. So
Fuck's sake. I can't do
This is
it.
how the next 30 minutes are gonna go at least.
everything's subjective. Granted, taking things for granted. So my mother, my mutter, she has no left ear.
Okay,
Physically, it's present, but its abilities are
gone.
She can't hear through her left ear, basically. And she was born and raised. She was born into that. She never had experience with two working ears. Now she has two different options in response to that. Either second-hand gratitude, where she knows people have both ears working and she misses. She didn't take it for granted, but it's like second-hand taking it for granted because it's like, oh, I didn't get to experience the thing that they get to experience. But it's also, like I said earlier, what is grief if not love persevering? She never experienced two working ears, so she will never miss it.
So it's interesting you say that because my son, last year we found that he can't see from one eye. So he has, yeah. So he was born very prematurely, 3 months early, and they say there's always going to be potential issues. He had chronic lung disease for a year. We're on oxygen 24 hours a day, but other than that, sick kid. Like he was growing amazingly, not literally sick, but he was evolving really well. And last year when I did an eye test, because he was rubbing his eyes a bit, and then the woman's like, "Yeah, there's something dense there," and my heart dropped. And then basically, his attitude is what gives me energy because he literally said, basically he has a cataract in the back of his eye, but it's centered right in the middle, so he never had vision. So that side has shut down. He can see a little, like the cataract is right in the middle. Usually it's on the side, so you can see a glare to pick it up, but it's centered so perfectly that he can only see like a 5% on the corner of his eye, and it's only like lights basically. And I started crying, and he was like, "Mummy, but I got my other eye. Like, what's the problem?" And I thought that's gratitude, and that's like a humbling moment. My 7-year-old saying, "But I can see from one eye," whereas we complain about so much when we have everything functioning. So your mother never got to hear from one ear, but he's never seen from one eye. She's never heard from one ear. So they don't really know what they're missing out on too tough. So it's a very humbling moment, but then we feel bad as people who have everything working okay, because I carry the guilt, like my son's never going to see from one eye. And he was just like, "But it's cool. I can still do what I do." And
It's like what I said to you, like what we were talking about on the way here. It's like you can choose where your focus lies.
Yeah.
I don't have one eye, so I have an excuse. I have this valuable thing in my hand called an excuse. I can use it wherever I want, and people are going to allow me. Or I can choose a different response. I have one working now. What can I do with it?
But do you know how long that takes to build? So for it to happen from such a young age, to me, I was overwhelmed. I looked at him and I'm like, "Who are you?" Like you're 7 with all the like spitting wisdom.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, to me, he's done so much from birth, from the way he was born to this day, that he's built like a next level of resilience to me, next level of positive mindset. Everything, there's a positive to it. No matter how bad it is, I will find a positive in it. And not because I'm deluded, because genuinely, like there is something there to learn from.
Even that negative perspective on it, or that excuse perspective, that's all learnt as well.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
fact that your son is 7 and has that mindset, it means he hasn't been taught that way of thinking, or he has been exposed.
Shout out to
Or
me.
come on.
No, I was
Or
gonna
he's
say,
been
but
very
no,
little exposed to it.
so it's a big up you as well, because I feel like like he's probably learning a lot from you anyways. And obviously he's his own person, but at the same time I feel like parents always play a very vital role in terms of what.
Yeah, I think I made a decision to change like the narrative of how my parents raised me. They didn't show a lot of love and positive affirmation, not because they were mean people, they just didn't know how to. So I was like, nah, my son's gonna know and appreciate life and love and family and purpose and all that stuff from a young age. It's been that energy, but you don't realize you've actually successfully passed that on to them until things like that happen. I'm like, whoa. Even when I told him I was getting married and how does he feel about this person, he went, I can see he makes you happy, and if he makes you happy, then I'm happy because your happiness is important. I'm like, again, fam, where is this? You're 7. Literally, this is the year where he just had all this growth, and I'm like, I don't understand, where are you from? Because an average 7-year-old would be like, and that's it. But he came with bars.
Yeah, now hopefully it stays that way.
God's willing, that's my only hope and aim for in life.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm pretty sure it will. Yeah. You know what I like about what we said about energy, and it's like what we put our energy into, or what we focus on, because like literally he could have focused on, you know, not being able to see through one eye, but he decided to put his energy into,
like, my guy's scootering, jumping off walls, playing basketball, and I'm like, one eye is like, I don't know. I just expect him to like trip over, like balance. And
so do you have? Because I've never seen him with like an eye patch or anything to cover the signal. You just left it as.
So his eyes are very responsive. You can never tell if you look at him, which is why we couldn't pick up on it. Yeah, but he actually puts a patch on the good eye, and he tries to maximize the vision on the other eye. The doctor said there's no point, but I'm working with an optician who thinks let's give it a shot. Yeah, and it actually has improved, but it's only that particular percentage will always just be that percentage, but how strong that percentage is down to training it. They said don't bother. The one doctor, like, I don't know what their real names are, but we'll assume the eye doctor, surgeon person, said let's try this whole patch thing and see. And my son owned it. He walked in, he's just like, yeah, and all the kids thought he was cool. I was worried like he's gonna get picked on, and then he's like, can I ride the scooter back home? And I'm like, fam, you're using your bad eye. He's like, what's the point? So it's just like
he's like, bad is subjective.
yeah. I'm waiting for that. Like, he's gonna be that guy. Yeah. I'll jab him in the throat too.
I listen. You know what? He's gonna be alright as long as he doesn't listen to Aladdin. It'll be fine.
That's it. You can't come near him.
Yeah.
Never that.
After that, everything will be subjective.
But I think he has that mindset right now. I think the idea of everything being subjective is not just like, oh yeah, it's a joke and we fuck about with it because we say it so repetitively, but that comes from the idea of responsibility and ability to respond. Now he has that subjective mindset of, and maybe he doesn't know it yet, but it's like everyone else, including yourself, will see it as a bad thing of what he has. And this applies to everything, not just yourself, but everything we do. We all see it as a bad thing, and maybe sometimes it's because we're taught that it's a bad thing. A lack of a thing is a bad thing.
Well, that's it. Like, so we decide. Like, someone once upon a time decided this is a swear word. This is what this is what defines negative energy. This is what defines happiness. So once upon a time, someone came up with this concept. We've inherited it and just took it on full blown and said, "Yeah, this is how I define happiness." But actually, it's subjective.
Yeah. It's like the thing with colors. It's like, what, you know, why does red mean stop and why does green mean go?
Yeah, exactly. Like the F word could have been love to someone.
That's what I love about the whole. About what he said about swear words being what did he say? So the biggest form of social statement. Say the quote.
I don't remember, bro. I said a lot of stuff. Like,
swear word being the biggest all the time.
The biggest swearing is the biggest example of social conditioning.
Oh yeah. That's the one.
That one. So like the whole idea of like fuck being a bad thing is like you said.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Everything's been decided. Everything's been this word means this. A dictionary, however it was built, whoever decided, it's all subjective.
And that's where that everything's subjective mindset comes from. It's taking something that's used vaguely and exploding it in a bigger way. Yeah. Like color, red being stopped. That's such a vague way of using it. But let's explode and use it for everything, and everything's subjective. And there isn't, like, I believe in no truth. Like, I don't think there is a truth. I think it's just what do you believe in? Yeah. Like if I was to come somewhere late and I told the person that I was reporting to, I'm late because the bus was 5 minutes late, that would be their truth. The truth could be I just woke up late, but as long as whatever I told them, if they choose to believe it, that becomes their truth, and that becomes the truth that their world exists in, and there'll be nothing else.
I'm just gonna say again, one person's truth can be the other person's lie.
That's what I've been saying.
We went full circle. I love it.
We did indeed.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, go.
Impressive.
Do you know what? I had wait. On that, I wanted to share something because I was thinking about red and green. I had this moment, I was driving and then the traffic light turned red and I was thinking, I was kind of sitting in the car and just thinking like, shit, like, I'm not to say that I'm not in control, but I was thinking like, there's a traffic light telling me what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to it.
Yeah. That's just the start of how
and then obviously after that I was thinking actually it can't stop me. I can still go past red, but there might be some consequences.
Several.
Yeah. So it's usually the consequences that stop people from doing it. You know, people always say that I'm not free to do anything I want to do, but actually it's more to do with like not being able to take the consequences.
Yeah. I was on a speed awareness course the other day.
Oh,
it was
shit.
like a Zoom one. Yeah. I've had my fair share.
I'd rather take that than
Points in it.
Yeah,
I cleared my license.
Yeah.
I thought not today. And then the woman's like, "Oh, why do we speed?" And she's like, "Most of you will say it's because you didn't think you'll get caught. But if you knew you get caught and you get points, would you still speed? Really, if you knew guaranteed you get caught, you wouldn't do it." So it's like we're opportunists to think, okay, cool, it's not as easy, we'll just do it. And then I was just like, yep, that is true.
Yeah. When I done mine, I think within first 3 or 4 months of getting my license.
I swear.
Yeah, I swear to God.
At least they didn't give you straight points to make you learn your lesson for being a rookie driver.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I was grateful to still have my license, but when I went to the course, I was just trolling everyone without them even realizing it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What was he saying?
I can't remember, but I was just trolling everyone. I had a lot of fun.
I've been on 2 courses, right? The first one is for crossing the lights on the train tracks. But technically I saw amber, they saw red. I don't know, subjective, innit?
Crossing the lights on the what? Oh, you mean Croydon trams?
No, that one sounds risky though.
Like but I didn't, like, it flashes amber for a long time, then it turns red for a very long time before it even closes, innit? So it's not as if like there's no barriers, but there are people going through it. There's a new camera there. So I went to that course and I made a really good friend through there, but me and him just started taking the mick out everyone.
Yeah,
we were just having. I'm like, listen, we're stuck here in it for half a day. We might as well enjoy this to the limit.
Anyways, the only one good thing I've learned from there, which now I still remember to this day, is that they usually put a speeding cameras where there's been some kind of accident. Usually, like a repeated amount of accidents. They put speeding cameras there, which I find that really interesting because now I drive past speed cameras. I'm like, I wonder if there was a lot of accidents down here.
Yeah, that's it. Though. That is it. It's like it's a money making industry. It's wild. It's
crazy.
I'm sure it's there to serve a purpose, and I'm sure it has served its purpose.
I got flashed recently, but
was it a dummy flash?
Like 3-4 months. Yeah, must have been. Yeah, never got nothing.
Yeah, it's a dummy flash.
And I was going way over speed. No, I wasn't. Sorry, I was going by the speed limit, and it was 1 mile over.
Yeah, them ones there.
Yeah.
No, I did bad. I got 4 points for driving 70 and a 50. I didn't even get a choice of a course. They were like off with her head.
Yeah. But one time I was about to get points, and then someone else was driving the car. Basically.
But them ones, I feel you, man. It gets like that. They find your keys. They take your car. Joyrides.
Yeah, someone just jumped in my car.
Park it perfectly.
Yeah.
Them ones.
I had to let them know that someone else drove my car.
It's unacceptable.
You know, I had to give the person his name, the person's address.
My dad's cute. My dad used to do that. Like, he used to still go to my sister. He'd be like, "I'll take your points. It's okay." And she's just like, "Nah." He's like, "It's fine. I have a clean license. I'm an old man." And I'm like, "Pops, where are you, man?" But she gave him a few points still.
But if you know, you know, and I ain't trying to get DVLA.
No. What you're saying is obviously a legit story. So I feel you.
Yeah. It's a real, it's a true story. Aladdin has no clue what we're talking about, but it's fine.
One day he'll join the world of the DVLA.
He's en route. He's en route.
Oh, that's a funny pun. Hold on.
Sorry.
I love electric, man. I did a video for Poku Banks. It was like a Peugeot sponsorship.
Poku who?
Just smile and nod.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, that's spicy. It was a Peugeot.
You're having a full course meal there, bro.
Oh, I love this fucking burger. It was a Peugeot sponsorship in it, and it was talking about like the electric cars and its benefits or whatever. It was telling me some fun facts about it. I'm like, fucking hell, electric cars is the way to go, man. So if I ever drive, it'll be electric 100%.
So I'm planning, that's my aim, my next move. if I get a car, because I drive my company car. For when I go site and stuff.
Is it electric?
It's fully electric.
Or
And
what car is it?
it's just like a Niro, like a Kia Niro.
Oh, okay, Kia.
So it's like an SUV vibe. So it's like it's a comfortable car.
Sick.
But since driving it, I'm like, nah, bun petrol.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Electricity is just as expensive to run as.
But then you have like no road tax. Like it's free. Obviously, you still got to register yourself and stuff. No congestion charge. Certain boroughs are like 20p an hour parking.
No congestion charge.
Yeah, you have no congestion electric cars.
Seriously?
Yeah, nothing.
That's lit.
There's a lot of things you're exempt from, and certain places like, oh yeah, if you're gonna park your car on the road but you're charging it, it's free to park.
Yeah, there's I can't remember the name of the company, but actually I wouldn't even say the name anyways unless they paid money. But
Sponsor.
yeah, sponsorship. But yeah, no, they do this. So they basically rent out electric cars, but they give everything. So they include insurance, they include free charging ports and the car. So basically, just people just pay monthly and just it's just everything.
Try it out, see how you feel about it. Like driving an electric car, see how you feel.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely like. Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I might still enjoy another like petrol car or something before everything goes electric, just for the experience.
I think the only problem with electric is you have to make your own engine noises for your mouth.
I like that. I feel like you'd be really good at that. What be your engine?
Could be
noise?
Fast and Furious vibes driving his car, or YouTube sound effects.
Drifting and shit. No, but electric. I think I would love to drive electric.
Yeah.
Speaking of electric,
what car? Okay, bro, wait.
Tesla.
Wait, bro.
Twitter.
Listen, I don't want YouTube to
Connect.
cancel us. No, I'm joking, but what's listen before we get into Twitter, yeah. What car sound would you make?
What's been anticlimactic?
Listen, what car sound would you make?
Oh, don't diss me.
Please, bro.
Come on, imagine you're in a car now. You're
Amen.
literally switching gears. They're fake
Just
switches.
imagine.
Obviously electric, isn't it? So you have no. It's automatic.
The mic is here, yeah.
That's a lot of head movement for
That's
driving.
just someone going past. That's not
Turn
even.
my mic off. Sorry.
Mine would be like.
You're like, today's Wednesday. It's Looney Tune vibes.
Hey, listen.
Friday, Fast and Furious.
Alright, cool. Let's get into the Elon Musk thing. man.
Let's go. Sorry. Go.
Now, go on. You
Didn't he initially want to buy it so he could shut it down? Full stop. He went to close it.
not shut it down. Basically, so Elon Musk claims. I'll say claims because I don't know him. But he claims that he's an advocate for free speech. And he was saying that Twitter has been basically like suspending people for expressing their opinions and all these different things.
Shout out to Wiley.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Wiley's one of them. So he might get unbanned.
He might actually get unbanned.
Yeah, he might actually. I think Trump might get unbanned.
They might give him like a little share in the business just to piss everyone off.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but yeah, now he's on smoke right now. Elon Musk is really, he's really like trying to take over.
What do you think he's really doing? Like, do you feel like he's just playing about people?
I don't know.
He's trying to monopolize the world, man.
That's wild.
So you think about his company. Sorry, think about his companies. He's got vehicles patent. He's got energy sources patent. He's got what's the boring company? Boring company is underground travel, isn't it?
Huh?
The boring. He has a company called the Boring Company. You already know about that. You don't know. No. He has a company named the Boring Company, and it's all about like underground stuff, innit? He's got space patents.
Is that a company that made a flamethrower thing?
I don't know.
He made flamethrowers and basically sold out within the first day.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, he created flamethrowers and sold them.
That's wild.
But so that he's the world is his
oyster.
No, not oyster, bro.
The world is. I do want to say that.
No. The world is basically his playground. Is his sandpit, bro.
Yes, I'm saying. I feel like he's having fun a bit. Like,
yeah, man. I mean, like every project he's running, he's puts a shit ton of money on it.
But the thing is, because even if he has money, people don't have to sell to him. So Twitter, they didn't have to sell to him. So for him to buy off Twitter, it shows you they care more about their money than they care about the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how he got Twitter because initially they didn't sell it to him. Like, yes.
There were talks about it like a few months ago.
No.
He didn't buy it. He owned a lot, like a big percentage of the shares.
Oh, yeah.
He became like influential and eventually said, I'm buying this shit.
No, I need to look into how it happened anyways. But do you know what? Since he's been there as well, he's fired a lot of people.
Yeah. This isn't the day dot from the beginning.
But the interesting thing about Twitter as a company, apparently they didn't like make a lot of profit anyways, or like they weren't really like profit driven. So everything they made was like kind of, you know, reinvested within the company rather than making profits and whatnot. So now I feel like Elon Musk is going to be looking at how he can make
monetize heavy on it.
Yeah.
It's a big platform. People still ride for it.
Yeah.
I know that he's on it, and he's got a massive fan base. A lot of people who re-listen to everything from like. Do you remember for the crypto coins and stuff? He'll like start hinting little things and doing. Didn't he do the other coin, the Deutsch? It's called the Dodge coin. Yeah.
I know why it's called Dodge because it's meant to be.
Sounds dodgy.
Yeah.
It was dodgy. I remember my sister. She put some money in it. It turned to the thousands, and then I think like
it dropped
to nothing.
Well, the thing, does she still have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell her to hold on to it.
Yeah, of course. Now this is the time, innit?
I'm not giving financial advice. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's financial advice. Tell her to hold on to it.
Hold on to the thing.
Yeah.
It's about to blow. Do you know what's going to happen? Sorry.
Go.
Based on like off this thing, posting, innit? Yeah. Obviously, do you know like Kanye West can no longer do Yeezys anymore?
Yeah.
The prices have gone up. I've got like 10 pairs of Yeezys or not more. So my sister's like, stop wearing your Yeezys. Stop wearing your Yeezys. Hold on to them. They will become history. And I'm like, yeah, I looked online and literally one pair of trainers right now, just the basic ones, have gone up for like £600-700.
No way.
So it's about to go up even higher because there's going to be no more Yeezys. He's not allowed to release it until the legalities are sorted if it ever changes.
You know it still gets royalties, right?
Cool. For what though? They can't release anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Where's he getting
royalties
from?
They're not promoting it.
Yeah.
It's completely like.
Yeah.
So and like I think he tried to go to Skechers.
Shoes that brief.
He tries to go to them to get his own brand, to his own concept. Wasn't successful. So we'll see.
Do you want to talk about the Ye thing? What do you think about it?
Hey, before that, I just want to touch on the last bit on Elon Musk. I don't know. This is a theory, and I'm saying this on the record just in case it happens. But with the rise of popularity and like superhero shit, this guy's gonna go all Tony Stark on us. I'm telling you, man. This guy's he's gonna build a suit.
He's already like.
He probably will have like something that'll keep him alive forever.
So either that or like some type of weaponized suit or
until one day they just say he suddenly died or something.
Allegedly.
Then he'll come back.
The Queen's in Jamaica, bro.
No, like seriously, like dude, yeah.
Queen. No, do you know what? I thought the Queen died time ago.
Do you know what I was thinking? I was thinking like people can just.
No. What's that? I want to hear this. Sorry.
Huh?
Like,
go on.
When I said time ago, as in like months before, because I don't know if you guys paid attention in the news, but months, probably like 6 months before she passed away or so, they start releasing like random things on the news going, oh, when Charles was to step in, his wife must be called the Queen, which doesn't happen usually. Small things were just coming out like verification and clarity. The Queen has said this.
Yeah, but is it because she was ill or is it?
No, there was nothing.
There was nothing. She was nice,
but there was no. So I think because even if she was to pass today, let's like be real. You got to tell everyone before you tell the public. You got to tell all the different like politicians around the world. You got to get everything sorted. You got to get all your ducks in check like properly before you tell the public. You can't say, oh, she died yesterday or died this morning. That's lies. I mean, I could be wrong. It's just my point of view. Yeah. But yeah, and I'm a bit of a conspiracist by default. But I just think the Queen's dead. How are you going to just pop it out the same day? It doesn't work that way. They got to get all the police ready, get all the funds ready, get all the setup ready. This takes weeks. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just all like, oh yeah, we now got to do this. Now we've got to pull off this facade of like her dying, the family coming to visit. It's all been patterned time ago. They've been tweeting about it, but in code.
Yeah, no.
But I just royalty. That's the Queen, who's the longest standing Queen. Like that's a big deal. You won't just tell people the same day she passes. That makes no sense to me personally. But I could be an idiot, so you know.
She lived a long life, but I heard she's apparently she was involved in a lot of mad shit. But
I mean,
boy, yeah,
it is what it is.
But thanks to the internet, I found out.
I mean, may she rest in peace.
Yeah, but anyway, the Ye thing. Do you want to talk about it?
Which part exactly?
I don't know, anything like anything that's on your mind with it, because I feel like some people, I don't know. I feel like some people don't want to talk about it. Some people want to talk about it.
I think it's a difficult one because like he's done some really wild stuff, and you don't know whether it's mental health or he's just ridiculously intelligent with like borderline something.
Do you know what? So someone said that he might be preparing for elections.
But it's
for
hard.
2024.
It's going to be really hard.
So someone said, you know what? Because I basically I started drawing out like loads of different possibilities. I think
I can imagine you at home with like a board, just going, "What could this theory
I got a board.
Option A, option B."
I think obviously, I think there's a lot of truth in what he was saying. I feel like he definitely sounded like he's tired of. He's been tired of like being controlled, or people telling him how to behave and all of that stuff.
What's your theory behind White Lives Matter?
Oh, like he's
trying to cause a reaction.
Do you know
what?
Think
he's losing it a little bit.
Do you know what? I didn't even see it as a big problem because, like, so for example, if a white person wears a T-shirt that says Black Lives Matter, it's cool. But then if
but that's he's defeating the purpose.
I know, but what I'm saying, I feel like he was just trolling. I don't feel like he had any like malice behind it. So I'm kind of interested in why people took in a certain way. And I see why people would as well, but at the same time, I just see Ye as like he does these kind of like
he does outlandish things. He likes the reaction. However, the issue with the Black Lives Matter movement, there's two issues. First one, what about other lives? White people or some of the Karens would say, what about our lives? Our lives matter. So he's basically taken that narrative and embraced it.
But I don't think but he even explained
because that's the people felt that disrespectful. You're being dismissive of the problem. So when people say Black Lives Matter, we know everyone's lives matter, but the fact they have to highlight a Black Life Matters means there's a problem that Black people aren't seen as equal to everyone else, right? The second thing is the Black Lives Matter movement turned out to be a massive scam.
Was it?
Yeah.
So the people,
so the movement itself, I haven't watched it yet, but there was issues where I know like a year ago when they spoke about where are the funds. So the Black Lives Matter movement might have started with a good intention, and probably 90% of the people who did it were properly like go for it, pro-Black or support the cause.
Yeah.
But then people were investing hella money. These people made maybe 9 million, and no one's seen any of it. It was a scam. So I think he
was buying houses and shit
and strippers and all some madness. Anyway, my point is, so he's probably saying, look how much they mocked you, so now I'm going to mock you as well. So the Black Lives Matter stands for nothing.
He actually explained. So I don't know if he lied or not, but he actually explained what the meaning behind it was. He was kind of like taking a piss, as in like basically the way he explained it, and I can't remember word for word, but the way he was kind of trying to explain it is that he was basically saying that Black Lives Matter by doing that thing. It's like it's like being sarcastic. It was more like the White Lives Matter thing was like sarcasm thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the vibe.
No, I get that, but I think also it's like it's almost like he's realized the Black Lives Matter movement is a disrespect to Black people because actually it was a scam. So White Lives Matter too, innit? Let's just start any movement and let's just embrace that as it is, and let's see who's going to monetize that as well. I think he's just mocking the whole movement because the movement it serves its purpose in so many different ways, like corporation, diversity, all this social inclusion stuff, worldwide worked. But as far as monetizing from the actual BLM movement was a whole lie. And I think that's probably the biggest effery, which is he probably played off. Which is like, cool, let me take the mic too. But he's a very interesting character. Like when I watched his documentary on Netflix, I could see he's a very special human being. Like I think he's borderline something. Like really intelligent people sometimes are just a bit weird. Like and it's a very bad word to describe it.
That's why I call it mentally different, not mentally challenged or mentally ill. It's mentally
different. There's something
like some would say, like someone like Ye, for example, they would say, like if you think, oh shit, this guy may be a genius, but he's doing some weird shit as well. That weird shit could also be genius. You just have 100% the right lens to see.
I think everything he's done, there's genius behind it. I don't think anything that he's done, but when you start looking at the things that he's done and how he's behaved, you just think, is he having a meltdown? Like
but it is. But that's the thing. So I think it's about behavior. So I think the mental health stuff is about the behavior. I feel like his logical, like the things that he says in a logical way. Logic's not flawed, as in like he's very logical about things
on paper.
So I don't think the mental health is affecting his logic.
No.
I think the mental health might be affecting his behavior, which to me are two different things.
Yeah.
So I think he can still like talk sense. Like I think when people like write him off and they go like he's not talking sense, I think that's bullshit because obviously he might have different intentions or he might be trolling. What the fuck? I don't know what he's on.
But there's always layers behind it.
Yeah, there's always layers behind. But what I'm saying is like. But people shouldn't write him off because he's got mental health issues that affects his behavior rather than the logic.
Accepting the logic. But I think also because he's got so much logics and intellect, and he's just deep the world differently, and he's experienced the world differently, that when he speaks and the whole world doesn't quite get it, it probably makes him lose it a little bit, and that's why he acts out and gets frustrated. It's, I feel like he's got so much energy to give, and people are oppressing that energy sometimes. But you know, I respect his hustle, I respect his grind, I respect what he's trying to do on a music concept, political, whether he wants to be president or prime, whatever. That's not really something I want to get into. But when he started acting out towards like Kim Kardashian, and he started doing all these rants going, she's not letting me see my children, she's making them wear this and that, I think that's when he realized the consequences of being with someone who doesn't share the same values as you.
I think that was just hurt people.
Yeah, but
it's just, it was definitely not the right approach. It's just, but yeah, you can tell it was hurting.
Yeah, like he was freaking out. Like, he was
till this day, like,
stressing.
I think he's yeah.
And the issue when you split is that you don't have control. You don't have a lot of control, or the control that you'd like over your children, or influence. Control sounds extreme, but what I mean is like you can't fully influence your child. You can't go, do you know what, I'm going to teach them about this and how to reserve themselves, or how to, you know, and age appropriate stuff or whatever. When you split, it's the primary carer who influences that. So he's now lost that element of control of how to raise his children. So I can understand as a parent how that's mind-blowing at times, because you're just like, I can't, like, what I envision to raise my children, I can't do that anymore because I'm not in their life all the time. That's scary, like, as a parent personally.
I kind of see like you know, it's probably hard to explain, but like, you feel like a genius amongst
peasants.
Yeah.
Regular peasants.
Regular peasants. If like a genius amongst peasants, your very thought process, it being so advanced, will fucking turn you crazy.
That's what I mean. Like, he gets overwhelmed.
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
stupid people don't get me.
You're so logical.
Someone said he's got like 12 tabs open
no,
at the same time.
No, he must have more than 12, because I've got 20 open in my head all the time. It's wild.
But that's
We're saying three of them are frozen and music. Where did I see this? 3 of them are frozen and the music's coming out one of them, but you don't know which one.
Yeah, dead. Long.
That's lit. But
You're like,
it's so closing.
then a new one opens.
Google has this thing now, that Chrome, that it shows you a little thing for where the music is coming from.
What?
On the tabs, if there's like audio coming from one of the tabs, it shows a little
audio sign. Yeah, you can mute it as well from
look
there.
at you getting a free advert and shit.
Fuck Google, man.
Give us 1,000 subs, man.
Fuck Google, but hot Bill Gates.
Fucking
That's what Bill Gates
Google
does.
ads.
So guys, do you leave swear words on your pods?
Yeah.
Does it not like limit your
Do we what?
limit what? Leave
like
swear words.
exposure?
We don't monetize.
Because a lot
swear
of
words.
because I know you don't monetize.
But
like,
even when we do monetize,
I don't give a fuck.
neither do I.
Okay.
The first
that was a fun conversation.
I think it's either first 5 minutes or first 10 seconds.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. It's just
I never liked limiting vocabulary.
I have noticed.
Actually, let me share something while we're talking about it, swear words as well. But yeah, go on.
Oh yeah, so I've never liked Buffy's on your phone.
So I just need to see.
It's a great episode.
This is a pod. It's a link up episode. But no, I think limiting vocabulary, limiting conversation, whatever. It doesn't allow you to express yourself properly and share what you want to share.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. So
right.
the lack of swear words.
You lot ready for this? There's gonna be a lot of swearing.
Oh, jeez, supercalifragilistic.
Yeah, can I do it? Can I do it? Is it cool?
Say bismillah.
Fuck it, I'm doing it.
Bismillah, let's go.
Alright, so aggression, let's fuck them up. Anger, fuck you. Regret, fuck me. Resignation, oh fuck it. Surprise.
My child can't watch this podcast.
Holy fuck. Oh yeah, sorry.
It's alright, man.
No, watch when he's older.
Puzzlement, what the fuck?
Is it how to use the F word basically in different ways?
Yeah.
Yeah. Greeting, how the F are you? Fraud, I got F'd over. Identification, who the F are you? Philosophical, who gives a F?
See, the thing is, I swear.
Send it to me. Go on.
I swear for animated purposes. So like, my husband doesn't swear at all.
Oh.
And then if I swear in front of him, he doesn't go, because he knows when I do it, it's for banter. Like, it's like you know, I'll just drop it in, and he'll just like, it'll literally throw him off. He'll just start laughing. Yeah. So he doesn't become the haram police. He's just quite easy with it. But I just think, can articulate ourselves more consciously and better. That's how I see it.
I think it goes back to it goes back to the intention.
Yeah,
It's like,
like when you say articulate, what the metric are you, what metric are we satisfying when we articulate ourselves?
Wherever society has conformed and decided it will be.
Of course. So with that being in mind,
We live in a society that we are forced to be in. Everywhere you go, there's society and there's different.
don't have this conversation with Aladdin. He'll finish you.
No, but anywhere you go, there's
subjective.
But everywhere you go, you have your limitations.
Yeah, so
you go to Saudi Arabia, you have a limitation. You go to Mexico, you have a limitation. You got to respect it.
That's why I say please and
The
thank
etiquette.
you. I disagree with please and thank you. I think please and thank
Yeah,
you.
you were telling me.
You know what?
But I still say it
For the sake of...
in a social, because I don't have the time to explain this whole thing. When
I don't give a shit.
I'm saying once I explain it,
Yeah.
I would never say please and thank you to you. You specifically, because we had this conversation.
Who are you pointing at, fam?
You, fam.
Yeah, what do we do?
Right, getting comfortable there with the fingers.
Once we've crossed the barrier of me explaining my view on please and thank you, I will never say please and thank you to you ever again. Don't do that.
So you'll never say please to me?
Never. Because you know why.
Even if it makes me happy.
Fuck your happiness. You know.
Sorry, did I come on this podcast to get harassed?
Yes.
I don't know him.
That's that third time
Anyway.
experience special. When you come for 3 times.
Do you know what? That's why I don't have a problem with going like, can I do it or can I not do it?
What, swearing?
Yeah, because you know what it is for me. I don't mind having just like being different around people just to for them to feel better.
But the thing is, it just depends how people receive you. So even though you have a best of intentions, someone else who's been raised completely told swearing is just whoa.
But is that their problem? Like, whose issue?
It's a them problem. No, it's a them problem.
No. I think it's a both problem, right? So like they don't have to say it, but then also they don't have to receive it in a certain way. But I think the empowerment piece is around they can receive it better.
Yeah, but I think initially it's hard. Like my mum, right? I can't say stupid about her freaking out. She goes, "What do you mean stupid? You are stupid!" and I'm not even saying it to her. I'm saying it to my sister. I'm like, "Stop being stupid." She went, "What?" And I'm like, "Fam, like I've said shit earlier. Like, why are you so like people hold value to different words?"
Was your mum born here?
No, man. Hence the accent. No.
Yeah, no. I'm just that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, but I see that as shifting responsibility.
Like we can't say the word dirty in our house.
Dirty.
Yeah, because or the Arabic version of it, because it's a very harsh word. Wischa.
Yeah,
like if I say the closes wisich, she goes no dirty. Because wisich is like also a very bad insult to say on someone, like it's like utmost disrespect into wisich.
Wisich, you know that?
No, but that will get you like clapped.
Yeah.
Like someone will actually go to Edger Road and say that to one guy. See the reaction. Let's try it.
Yeah,
I'll probably clap him.
You can clap his cheeks, mad. So that's why I hear about words.
What is wrong with you?
Wait.
You need a hug today or something, or therapy or
I
something.
want to make a point.
Yo,
You lost your point, your ability to land any point.
What are you talking
You're
into?
on timeout.
What are you talking into?
Shit.
What are you talking into?
We're not doing this. We're not doing this today. We're not doing this.
Guys,
My
please.
point is words. Okay.
See, he's got limits. He's got limits.
Y'all have no limits.
Jeez, we found limitations today. I need to get a camera and put it on
3
him as well.
seconds long. Let's go.
3 seconds.
As in your limitation stops there. Now we continue.
Anyway, words. What are words? So I like to explain it in this way to everyone whenever I talk to him. What are words? Words are a combination of noises that we make to communicate with each other. That's all it is. It is rawest foundation, is just a combination of noises. So with that, who decides what combination of noises means what? Because if I speak Arabic, same combination of noises, different. No, so same noises, different combination means something can be different. Now, if I say fuck, I'm saying like who decides like that? That's why I hate, and this applies to swear words and apologies. And I say all this is to say the intention.
Can I ask you a question?
No, go on.
What made you come up with this like mindset? Because you weren't born with this mindset. So if you were raised by your parents, how they would have raised you,
Completely different to how I think right now.
so what was a turning point where you thought, hold up, famalam? Obviously you're the younger generation, isn't it? So you're the more liberated, I do me vibes.
More options.
I guess so. But so you're overly exposed compared to how I was raised, right?
Of course.
All right, calm down, innit? Of course.
I never said no.
Why? Of course.
Not of course. But yeah, go on.
What was the turning point for you where you're like, do you know what? Actually, Boneless, I actually have a better way of living. And was it like a growth?
This prick.
I swear.
Yeah. No, so a lot of my philosophy.
I love your reaction. You're like, who? Where is this person?
A lot of my
You, sir.
a lot of my philosophical mindsets come from this wanker.
So when you guys first met, did you view?
I take no responsibility for this.
Wait, no, but there's growth. But
no,
take some responsibility because it's growth. You've allowed him to open and unlock a part of his brain that maybe he wasn't really allowed to use because no one really enabled it.
I'm saying, so it's not like, he didn't teach me or give me or force.
No, but just talking to him.
He exposed me to a different way of thinking.
Yeah.
We never tell people to think or do anything. We just expose them to different ways.
No, I get exactly what you mean. Yeah.
My turning point wasn't necessarily him telling me this. It's just him saying, "Oh, by the way, there are other ways of thinking." And from there, I'm like, "Okay, cool. How many ways are there of thinking?"
So do you disagree with how your parents think? Or do you think there's an element of truth, or do you accept it as their truth wholeheartedly?
My thing is, I don't disagree or agree. I just believe that is their truth, and that is their belief. That exists. That's not like, it's not false. Because when
do you feel bad for them?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I believe they are limited. Their mindset has limited them, but limited them to something they're not exposed to. So if they're not exposed to what they're limited to, they don't know
any different.
They wouldn't know, innit? So the whole idea of disagreeing with someone, like when it comes to disagreeing. When I disagree, it's not to say that your thing is bullshit. It's to say that I don't. It's like disagree. I agree or I disagree. I just don't share that mindset. So if you was to believe one thing, like faith is like a big example. Like religion, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, atheists, whatever. They all disagree with their belief systems, but I've seen all four of those religions in the same room
coexist.
Yeah. So that's my perspective on mindsets. It's when I disagree, is not you have no value or you're
worse than me.
It's just you have different belief systems. And my job as an open-minded kind of person, I'd like to say that I'm very open-minded. My job is to expose and go away. What I said on Ibrahim when we had Ibrahim on the podcast, I said, when you plant a seed, you don't plant a seed and micromanage that shit. You plant a seed
and let it go. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta let it land and leave.
So that's why when
drop the mic.
Yeah, come on, drop the microphone. Not these ones; they're kind of expensive. But when I like share everything I share,
he's very handsy today, isn't it?
But when I share what I share,
just pretend that I'm Aladdin right now, and I'll show you what he's doing.
Yeah, let's do this. That'd be sick.
Go on. So when I share what I share,
really?
It really hurts.
Really?
It really fucking does stop moving it.
His fingers are tingling, his toes are going crazy in the shoes.
I'm vibrating my knee, I'm getting stressed.
You're getting a leg cramp.
Yeah, actually I'm right here in my thigh. When I share what I share, and I do this on the podcast all the time, like Leo is a good example. You see, I did a little...
Yeah, he's on it. Just be free, sir. Free yourself. Be your own truth.
So Leo
my guy's sitting on his hands, you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
No, go do it. Yeah, if you're bad, waste man. So Leo talks about how a lot of times when I say something on the podcast, he'll be like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" And he'll rewatch it and be like, "Oh, that makes sense." That's my entire thing. Like I know that not everything I say is valuable. Majority of it is bullshit.
Not even valuable. Maybe it'll take longer to digest.
Listen, majority of it is valuable.
Yeah,
actually.
but I'm saying, but what I say is
it's just bullshit at the time.
Yeah, bullshit at the time. Yeah, but in the moment of
no. All jokes aside, no, seriously, it's actually fucking very valuable.
In the moment of sharing, I understand that in the moment of sharing, my delivery may be off or my mindset
it's not.
in the moment.
No, but because
my listening is off.
Because Aladdin's sometimes quite blunt with his approach or very like black and white with certain things. I think it can either come across as quite or wait, I need a minute to take that in because that's a very interesting concept I never thought about before. Yeah. So it'll take time to deep your concept. Yeah. But and not everyone has the capacity to deep what you're deep in. Your brain is having a whole circus and they're sitting here on a merry-go-round just going around forever.
But that's the thing. Okay, I'm going to stop doing this. So that's the whole thing of like when people have conversations... Okay, cool.
Why are you still here?
I know.
Why are you still here? You're not even speaking.
So I'm frozen in time. When... You're killing me.
I wanted to become a world leader of some sort and give a speech and go like...
People are going to mimic me.
Then people, all they'll be doing is watching your hands. They'll be like, yeah.
Can I land my point? I had a really good point, man. Fuck. Yeah?
Mic over to you.
Sit on your hands, go. Both of you sit on your hands. So like when it comes to sharing a point, the purpose of it isn't... Like, I love it when people have debates or arguments or discussions, whatever, and they're so focused on changing that person's mindset. I don't want you to think this. I want you to think the exact same way with me. I want you to understand it fully.
Yeah, you can't.
Repeat it back to me.
You can't.
And we always have this when we have debates and arguments and discussions. Now, my thing is now, let me do two things. Let me share for the purpose of sharing. Whether you take on those up to you. Share for the purpose of sharing and receive for the purpose of understanding. once I find comfortability in those two things, I can live my life in a much more easy way.
But do you not feel like sometimes when you speak, it's landing on deaf ears? Like you people don't. Some people just want to land the point and they want to disagree with you. Yeah. Like sometimes, like you can sit on a podcast debate, and you know that this person's just here to like, it can be like sitting with an atheist, for example. But there are normal atheists who are just regular dons getting on with life, who just agree and come to the conclusion that they don't believe in faith and higher being. But then there's other people, but then some people will sit there and they have no intention to learn your truth. They're just here to bash your truth.
Do you know?
So they're not listening to what you're saying.
I like the whole bashing my truth though. That's really valuable, because when I have disagreements or arguments, should I say, my thing has always been, tell me why like if I had an idea, for example, and I do this with Leo all the time and he hates it. If I have an idea for the podcast, for example, I would always tell him, cool, tell me every reason why my idea is bullshit. I would justify each one, and then either you get to one where I can't justify, or I've justified all your understanding and we come to a conclusion. That's why I like people when they try to bash my ideas or my mindsets, whatever. It's like, cool, find the flaws in my mindset.
But what I mean
I
is,
haven't been exposed to them.
I respect that, but then what I'm trying to say is some people, they want to bash your thing, but they have no intention to fully listen. They've already come into this room going, I'm here to shut down faith. I'm just using atheists as a great example. And I'm going to come with all these stats to prove to you faith is fake and this is this and this is that. And no matter how much you speak, it's not landing.
That's fine.
You know what?
Not every plant grows.
I think disagreeing is fine. I think as long as disagreement comes from a place where they understand the other person's perspective, rather than not, and they still disagree with it. So, for example, if someone goes, if someone shares the perspective and they can actually understand what they mean from their perspective, but can still go, actually, I still disagree.
That's fine.
From from my point of view or my values, I think that's completely fine. But at least they get to understand where they're coming from and who they are.
Just by having that conversation, you might not agree at the time, but upon reflection, you might find a hint of truth in that for you and be like, cool, maybe I can take something away from that for myself. Yeah. Well, let me deep what he just said, even though I don't want to necessarily agree with it now because I'm not in full agreement. I can take it back. I can take it home with me and I can look into that even deeper. So.
Where the value lies is not focusing your attention on that specifically. Like, I'm aware of the fact that maybe something I say now will resonate later, or maybe it won't. But the more you focus on it, the more fragile it becomes, because you're so like, okay, I hope they, like, you're waiting for them to kind of come back to you and say, oh, now I understand what you meant by then when you said it.
You're waiting for that breaking point.
You're waiting for that breaking point. When you find comfortability in not even allowing that to exist in your mind, and allowing it to exist once it comes, there's so much peace and calm in that mindset. Like, this whole need for them, like, it was almost like a form of validation of what you said, like, give me the truth, like, as if me believing in it isn't enough truth, I need someone else to believe in it as well, so it becomes even more truthful.
So I'll give an example, and it's back to faith, which just happens to be a good example. Like, when someone reverts or converts to Islam, they have this moment of truth in their head, right, where they're like, oh my God, this makes sense, I must revert to Islam right now, I must do this, I must stop doing this. And then they come on this like forced dawah, which is they have to now give all this information to this person, and they're expecting you to go, I get it, it's my truth now. Like, they want you to just flip the switch because it landed with you finally, like suddenly, that it now must land with everyone else. So I believe that applies to a lot of different things, not just faith. Like,
I think it applies for a lot of different things.
Like, when you have a conspiracy and you know it's right, it's like, well, how can you not get it? It's just like, allow them to go through their journey of getting it. So even if it is like the truth, let's just say there is a truth that exists, whether it's your truth, whoever's, sometimes you have to go through a journey before you get to that point and go, do you know what, I actually agree with you, bro. But don't force it. The minute you force it, people actually fall back even harder out of stubbornness and like resistance.
Yeah, that's why I love using the plant and other nature metaphor, because it makes a lot of sense. Like, the whole idea of a plant growing is not like it grows overnight.
You can't, but people expect. Some people go, "Why are you not a bouquet yet, fam?"
Yeah, but I have I started growing a mango tree in my bedroom.
Sick.
And it's grown quite a bit. It's fucking beautiful. And
how often does the man go?
Oh my God, the dad jokes continue. Make sure you subscribe so you can listen to all these man jokes.
I think you're the only person that ever said on the pod that push for subscription. We never do it. But yeah, so I got a mango tree growing right now. It's about the size of my middle finger at this point.
Why are all the fingers like middle finger?
Because it's the longest one. And what? Dickhead. Anyway. So.
It is indeed. But I can demonstrate about doing it. This finger.
Yeah, because you need something to compare it to.
I could use my wedding finger. Wedding hand. This finger.
That's all right.
I mean, bling bling, baby.
Bling, bling,
Get your bag, get your bag, get your bags.
Oh boy. What was I saying? Yeah. So the mango tree. I think I planted it about a month ago, something like that.
That's it.
Yeah, so a month ago, and the first week, nothing. But the first week, so my dad is he's a farmer now, innit? So he does a lot of farm related stuff, and he's so aware and understanding of like plants and Mother Nature, photosynthesis, the whole lot. The first week, nothing happens. It was just a big ass seed in a pot of soil, nothing was happening. And he was telling me, yeah, but look, you're not gonna be able to see this, but if you was to pull it out,
you'll see what's happening under. Yeah,
roots galore, and those roots are the foundation. Once those roots are grown, then the stem comes out. And I got me thinking that this metaphor, the more I learn about plants, the more my metaphor
it's getting deeper.
It gets better. Yeah, I'm saying because this, like, if I share some type of information with you, that first week or month, it may be like, oh, I fucking knows what this guy's on about. But in that time period, you're experiencing things that might have some type of relation, and then eventually, but at the same time, like I said, I like to expose myself to everything. At the same time, as well as that happening, the same thing of none of that shit happening, because plants also die.
They might not be successful.
You'll never grow. Like, I like to expose myself to both. It's not like, oh yeah, here's the valuable thing of them eventually learning. You got that, it's valuable as fuck. But equally, the same chance, because I'll never know, the same chance it could do fuck all. That's
like when our parents give us like bits of wisdom. Like your mum might say something to you, and you're like, whatever, man. And then you get older one day, you're like, raw. Yeah, it makes sense now.
But you also get older.
To experience.
You also get older. Like, remember when she said that? I was a pile of shit. You know what I'm saying?
It became nothing.
Yeah, because you was a pile of shit when she said it.
Well, that's it. And you hadn't had that exposure to life yet. So as you're being exposed to it, you're like, your mum was right, so but I ain't gonna tell her. Hell no.
And then when we grow up and we're not a pile of shit no more, then suddenly we go, oh shit, like,
yeah.
No pun intended.
Or was it intended?
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I had something on my mind. It just went.
That's okay. Gets like that.
Yeah.
I have so many tabs. I literally forget.
Yeah, I'm probably on like, I don't know, like 72 or something.
Gets like that. So
yeah.
Just do a reboot sometime.
Are you same? Like you have bare tabs on your computer?
Actually, I got
my work one. Yeah.
You know when I'm talking about actual like.
I know not. But
mental tabs.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I can't do that. I can't.
So you
close your laptops or your things.
Yeah, I do that. I got
everything comes off and I fucking shut it down, but I can't do that.
No.
So you know what? I open loads of tabs just for no reason. They just sit there. I'm like, and the reason I leave them open, I'm like, I'm gonna revisit this tab one day, and then it just stays there. You know what? To the point when I get so many tabs, I'm like, okay, I'm shutting down the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then I start a new like fresh kind of like page, and then after that, it's just full of tabs again.
You know what's really interesting about that? I don't know if I'm inconsistent or whatever, but on my computer, on my laptop, whenever I have tabs on Google Chrome open, I close them before I go. I never keep them open. On my phone, when I have like an app open, I get rid of all of them. Yeah.
I do this for like 10 minutes.
We go on my Safari, and there's about 30 tabs open.
Yeah.
I don't know what is that. It's inconsistent.
But no, but it's because it's harder. Yeah. It's easier to. You can't see it. You can't see the tabs. That's why.
You know what's interesting? Yeah. I was just thinking I do the same thing on my phone, and I was thinking, what else do I do that in my life?
People, pow, 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 pow. Refresh them like you got like 10 friends.
No,
like,
seriously.
You know what?
I haven't figured out where, but I need to start looking at where else do I do that. Where else do I open the tabs and I leave them open and not revisit. Actually, yeah, I do that with people.
You start communication and
no, like I would build a friendship with someone, like day one friendship.
Then you car park it for a year or two.
Then I park it, and then it stays as a tab, just open. Yeah, and then eventually I either close or revisit it, but very unlikely I'll revisit.
That's some of my WhatsApp messages. I have like 100 unread messages.
But that's more.
I've just learned something new.
That's like more like I like to say it's about conversion. Like my joke conversion rate is about fucking 40 to 60%, but I must take 100% of the shots for me to get that 60%. So there must be bad, like even like with those relationships. You have those relationships.
It's just hitting, right?
Like
I just realized open tabs at work, like certain things I started, I open as a tab and I park it.
And then but if you
the same way we do one thing is how we do other things, isn't it?
Like if you have a
my god,
you got the tabbers.
Huh?
I also done it with my romantic relationships as well.
I swear.
Yeah.
Sorry, I touched the mic.
Your lips in the mic.
Don't know how clean it is, but
that's it. Bare people talking to it.
That's mad. Anyway,
I mean, we can do therapy. It's fine. Welcome to this therapy session.
I'm far from needing therapy. Trust me.
Everyone needs therapy. What are you talking about? Everyone, every
You know
human
what?
being
You know
needs
what?
to offload.
I'll be real with you, yeah.
Therapy is
I've
subjective.
done therapy,
What type of therapy?
CBT therapy.
That's different, yeah. Cognitive behavioral, yeah.
Yeah, I've done therapy, and it was useful. However, it got to the point where like it wasn't working because like I knew exactly, like I knew what she's doing basically. So I was like, I could have just done it myself.
That's a
But,
placebo.
but then that's
No, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from it. It was still valuable. I'm not denying the value. But you know what else I realized as well from doing it is that do you guys know about attachment styles?
yes, I think so. Tell me, and I'll start telling you. Like, what do you mean by attachment
Like
styles?
you know,
what
like so
kind?
there's like secure attachment. There's like avoidant. There's
yeah,
anxious.
yeah.
I realized that I'm an avoidant attachment style. It's not to say that you can't change. Like people can actually go from avoidant to
But there's certain traits that clearly stand out that categorize
because
you.
basically it's self-sustainability. That's what it is. So like I realized I self-sustain quite well. I don't necessarily need another person to help me sustain myself.
But then does that mean you don't need companionship?
It doesn't mean that. It also doesn't mean I can't get into like a meaningful relationship. It's just.
But do you think even if you even if you enter a meaningful relationship, you still have like your own lane, like where you're just very much trying to.
Yeah, but you know what? But what I've learned over time is that I can make adjustments. As in, like I can still do it. Like it's just about like how hard am I gonna work.
Yeah, because it's just not a natural
it's not.
reaction.
Yeah,
to
but
be
I
like
can still do it if I want to. Yeah. I don't know how much time we've got, but I wanted to touch on something quickly as well. Yeah,
let's go.
It's a little bit random, but I do random stuff anyway. So,
Okay.
What does redefining mean to you?
Redefining.
Yeah.
Changing the narrative a little bit.
Okay.
So
Is that something that you utilize in your life?
yeah, I redefine a lot of things. I think
That's lit.
like based on the concept of growing up British, my pod. It's about redefining a lot of things that you've inherited, redefining a lot of meanings to what you associate things with, or like a bit similar to what Aladdin does, but Aladdin's more hardcore with his redefining of like purpose of life and vocabulary. You take it to levels that I don't need to take it to, but I'm comfortable in my my definitions. But I think it's important to redefine, but sometimes it's not a requirement.
I was thinking like that's one of the most powerful and underutilized like abilities that we've got people to redefine stuff. I feel like, and this is what I've seen in society, I feel like people will look at certain things and maybe inherit the definition of something or decide what the definition is of something, and they never revisit it. They never redefine it.
They just accept it as what it
they
is.
accept it as it is, and they kind of like go autopilot throughout their life thinking that that's what that thing is, instead of going, you know what? I have the power to redefine it.
So that's the biggest thing I love to preach, and that's when I think about family, love, relationships. I always think about what can we redefine as grown adults with the concept to reflect and evolve. What can we redefine that maybe we weren't happy with, or what we don't quite we never quite understood. So my parents' love languages are completely different than what I would what I deemed as love. So I chose to redefine that to how I also reflect it to my child. So I chose to change a narrative in a lot of things that I could have just said, well, my parents did it, like beatings. That's showing discipline and love. Like my son has never seen a beating. I thought I'd give it to him standard. It's what we did, isn't it? That's what discipline meant, and that's what love meant. And then I was just like, hold up, wait, there's another way of doing this. Like you can still fear me mad without me even touching, just me looking at you. You're like, I'm like, yes, this is powerful. I don't even need to start bringing out a belt or going, choose your instrument of beating. So I think it's a very powerful thing, because you're choosing to make a conscious effort to change that narrative, hopefully to better yourself or to better people around you, as opposed to trying to abuse people. I guess you can redefine things to work for an agenda. Like that's negative. Not me.
Yeah.
What have you redefined in your time?
I think I redefine all the time. I redefine life. I redefine what my purpose is. I redefine my values.
But that's part of growth. Like the Leo you were 5 years ago, 2 years ago, even like a few months ago after you've just constantly added different values, removed different things.
So boundaries is one of them as well. So I've redefined my boundaries like quite a bit recently, but also, and that's
how was that received?
I don't really care.
That's another thing. Maybe you redefined. That's so.
No, I used to care. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's another thing you redefined.
I don't really care.
But do you really not care? Because some people say when they don't care.
No, I really don't.
It's a small part.
No, I really don't. Do you know what it is? As I get older now, like I start caring about what people think less and less. Like the older I get, the less I care. Honestly, I got to the point where like I'm almost there where I don't give a shit at all. Almost.
But it's not even a disrespectful manner. It's
no. It's in the most empowering ways. I'm you know, like not like as long as I'm not like. As long as my not caring is impacting people in a negative way, you know what I'm trying to say.
But it might impact them negatively because they received it in a negative way. Like you might be like, I need to be more selfless right now because I need to look after my mental well-being, or I need to prioritize this pod. So I'm gonna now say no to this this commitment, and then that person's going, wait, hold up. Yeah. So what, you're dropping me? That's how they received it.
Do you know what though? Yeah, those people that receive it like that, yeah, they go on to do the same shit anyways.
But it feels it's different. Else. But it's different when they do it.
Yeah.
Such as life.
Yeah, such as life. But yeah, it's so powerful. Like just to redefine stuff.
I feel bad for people who just coast through life.
Yeah.
Like who genuinely just go, do you know what? This is my life. This is my cards that God dealt me, or whoever. They might use God as a reason. They might use their parents, and they might say, oh, I've been oppressed. I'm just gonna stay in this oppressed state. And you're just gonna accept it as what it is because trying to think outside the box is just not even an option. So they just live the whole life defeated, boxed and limited. It
goes back to what Aladdin said, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To what do we spend our energy on? You know, like they can spend the energy on saying, you know, this happened and that happened and this is happening in my life, or they can put that same energy into something productive where they turn it around.
But it scares me. Like I feel so bad for these people because I regret. Do I regret things? Okay, I wish I did things sooner. I wish I grew sooner. I wish I made decisions sooner, or I got it, like that wisdom landed sooner. Because I realized that I'm only dying, like I'm only getting older. I'm not getting any younger. So the times that have passed me, I can't get back. I can't change them and rejig. Obviously, it's evolved me to who I am today, and it's all that humbling, la la la. But when people actually live their life and die without achieving anything besides existing, I'm like, how is it you seek complete fulfillment in that? Like, how is it do you think, yeah, I've lived my life, that's cool. Like, you don't get another take in this. This is it.
Do you know what? That's what I find, like, that's what I've been kind of like thinking about a lot recently, which is like, I feel really like, I'm not scared of like dying. I'm scared of not being able to experience life, because I got to the point where now like I really, really like enjoy life.
Yeah.
I'm in love with life, like literally. And I got to the point where now, like, the stronger the love for life gets, and I'm like,
the more you don't want to let go of it.
It's fucking scary, because I'm like, yo, I'm not going to experience this again.
See, the thing is, it's that balance. So I have my faith to humble me. So, like, I try not to get too attached to this world, but I can't help it. Like, I reached a bond. I reached one angle to the other, one extreme to the other. When my dad died, what is the point of anything? Why am I trying to lose weight? Why am I trying to go build a pod? Why am I trying to, get a career, like pay increase for who, for what? I'm gonna die, nothing matters. But then I have to remember this life has a purpose. This is part of my test, this is part of my trial. Like, am I gonna be deflated, or am I gonna grow from it? Is it gonna shape me into a better person, or am I gonna have a setback and then grow? Like, or am I gonna just be completely defeated and disabled mentally because I just can't comprehend the death of my dad? So I think it's one of those things where I have to find a balance, that this world is only temporary, so I don't get so excited or feel like I'm missing out so much from everything, or like I'm not ready to. The only reason I'm not ready to die is because I'm not ready to face God. I don't think I'm the best person to face God. But am I too scared to die because I might have missed out on experiences? Not particularly, because I feel like what was meant for me, I'll experience, and I'll hopefully feel fulfilled from it. I'm just more like, I don't think I'm ready to like stand up and be like, yeah, I've made you happy, innit? When I talk to God, that part I'm not ready for.
Yeah.
Happy, struggling.
I don't think you're proud of me, too tough. A couple of dislikes here and there.
Dislikes.
Yeah, like a couple of stakharallahs.
I think the whole you sparked like you talk about how I wish I had this earlier, or I had this mindset earlier, and yeah, we all know that the experiences are necessary to become this person. Like you're not going to get them earlier because you lack the experience, but we can also say if you did have those experiences, if you did have that mindset earlier, that would have been to your demise. It could have been to your demise. Like there are so many football players who are 19, 17, 18, whatever, who are sensational players and have the knowledge of the older veterans, and they've done a Mason Greenwood, or they've done whatever, and their careers ended.
I hear you, but like, do you know, like when I'm talking to you and we have a big age gap between us, I think I don't.
Big. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I did it.
Do that one. Do that one there. Yes, you love it. That.
Sorry, the mic. It makes me think, like I respect the fact that but then I don't know how much growth you have in you. I don't know you like inside out to know like is there certain things that you'll do kind of still young. Like, and I don't mean to be patronizing, but I feel like you have a lot of growth in you, and I respect it. Like in your 22 years of experience, you've managed to evolve and be this person who's clearer thinking. There is immaturity in you because that's just normal part of growth. Yeah. But I respect the fact that you had things like you had thought processes that I didn't have when I was your age, or maybe I thought I had it. And then maybe there's like way more growth that you're going to do, and you're going to land more points as you get older. And I'm going to be like, this keeps growing. But I respect the fact that you are your age and you have that level of wisdom inside you. And I guess it's maybe it's the surrounding, your set of friends that you grew into.
Don't say set of friends. The point is prick. You're part of the friendship divorce.
Let's face it, your bromance is solid.
No, England speak.
You know what I like to say. I like to say this thing where. I love being called immature, like being
immature.
Yeah, immature.
I'm mature.
I'm mature. Yeah, I like being called amateur because no, there's a reason. So like the idea of immaturity, I think subjective, of course. Yeah, we all know subjective, but it's also that thing of my immaturity is a result of an early dose of maturity.
Okay.
Too early. So like it's almost like you climb the peak of the mountain of maturity and you got to the top and you've been there, you've seen it. Oh, this is a fucking pile of shit. Let me go back down. It's immaturity because it's more fun down there.
You know what? Yeah.
I said I went up there. This is a pile of shit.
Like, nah, guys, let's go back to hell. This is cool, man.
Let's go back down.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I realized. Like I realized, like I've had to, like I've been, like I don't know if you about YouTube, but my first job was when I was age 15, and
yeah, I got my 16. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you might have had the same experience, and you are very like what they would say immature. Like you have that very immature kind of. I appreciate and I love. Some would say people that go to stand-up comedy shows are immature.
Immature?
Yeah, because they'll say...
Nah, mate.
Yeah, for me it's a foreign concept as well. For me it's a foreign concept, but I can understand if they was to say it.
I think anyone that says it's immature, they have their own issues.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So the idea of immaturity and the type of people that I would call myself and you and Leo, whoever immature, are those who have this solid professionalism. I say that with quotation marks. Kind of professionalism. I said I have to be a certain kind of way. I have to do. And it's like... I've been there. I've been in that space and environment and I've needed to do that kind of stuff, and I realized that's a pile of shit. I don't want to do that. And some of us have been there and realized if you don't stay there, you're fucked in this world. What I've decided to realize is no, there are other ways. It's going to be more fucking difficult. It's going to be way more difficult because not everyone does it.
Because it's not the commercial route.
Because it's not the most. It's not consistent and not everyone does it. If it's different, it'll be more difficult. And I understand. I understood from early. That's why I made the change.
I think immature is a tool for manipulation. Meaning it's used as a tool for people to behave differently.
Okay.
And I think I don't know where it kind of stems from or like what the origins of it is, but obviously I'm assuming where they will say a child is immature because they behave differently and they'd want them to behave in a certain way.
I mean, it depends how you use it in a sentence as well. Like if I see like, I'll use you as an example just because you're the only person, the youngest person in the room.
Use me, come on.
Okay, child services. Like I think there's certain stuff you said to me, and in my head I'm like, okay, I can see your age a bit, and it sounds very condescending, and I really don't mean it in that manner. Yeah. But there's something that you'll say then that maybe in 10 years from now you'd be like, do you know what?
It was a matching, yeah.
Yeah, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're immature, but to me as an alting. I can see me in you. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? I can see the younger version of me. I'm just helping you out here, innit?
Yeah, because I didn't do it.
and I get it. I can identify with it. I can relate to it. So I can note it in my head.
Because what I see is valuable, and this is why, like, whenever I answer the phone to Leo, I say pussy instead of saying hello. It's because we had that conversation, we have that common understanding. And my fear is that I don't.
You're mature, bro.
Come on. My fear is that I don't fully, like, I say this with you and some other people. I don't fully have that established relationship. Like when I went to Mani with a couple of friends, and we were talking about like bantering and shit. And there was a lot of fucking inappropriate jokes that we made. And towards the end of the night, we had a conversation. I was talking to them about how...
Dun, dun, dun.
Hold on, 1 second. Go on, talk. Your camera's out.
Anyway.
So what happened was... So basically, I just want Gucci bags.
Aladdin was like mid sentence.
Delete your pod, man.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That was a good episode as well, man. Bun you.
Yeah. I like the fact that we're authentic and we're just like still going with it, and we're not gonna cut this as well.
No, it's what it is, man. Just have like a background.
Yeah, for the 2 people that's listening to this, and
shout out to them. 2 valuable people.
Yeah, shout out to them. We love you.
That'll be you guys watching
seriously,
it back.
You know what? For people that are listening to this, actually, I appreciate you.
That's nice.
And I appreciate you not because you're listening to this. I appreciate you because you're doing something to improve your life.
That's true.
Yeah.
What was the last thing I said?
And I want you to do well.
Yeah, whatever.
About how you worry that you didn't establish.
Yeah,
and I've got a question for you, by the way, when you finish.
Yeah, when I finish.
Remember the tab, yeah? Hold tight.
Hold the tab.
Let me just...
There you go.
Ding.
Pin it to the top.
Pin to the top. So my fear is always... the relationship I have with Leo and a lot of other people, I'd like to have with as many people as possible. So I have 2 ways of approaching it. Either slowly make a 1 joke here, 1 joke then, and eventually I start making fuck you jokes, whatever, or go straight into it and then hope for the best. when I was talking to the guys in Mani, we were making a lot of like mum jokes, dad jokes, sister jokes, all that shit. And most of them I didn't even know them before that day, but we went straight into it. It was fucking valuable. But towards the end of the night, we're having a conversation. I told them about how if I was to make it your mum joke, I'm not specifically talking about your individual mum.
Yeah, it's just
mainly because I don't even know who she is. Yeah. But what I do is I create a whole fictional being.
Yeah.
And that is now your temporary mum. Yeah. Now I'm gonna cuss the shit out of her.
It's a signed mother for the day.
Was a sign for the day? Yeah, that's your fictional mum. Because more time for stars, I've never even met your mother.
Listen, I make your mum jokes to my sisters.
My mum said...
She'd be like, but my mum's your mum. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, it's what you gonna do now?
My mum said umbuk yesterday.
Do you know what I mean? That's see what I mean? So in the Arabic world, yeah, when they do insults, sometimes it doesn't make sense. She just said your mum to him.
My mum said your mum to me. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she's cussing herself.
Yeah, she did herself. Yeah.
So my mum will say, like, my dad would be like something like, "Oh, binti kalb" or something like that. Yeah, I'm like, Dad, you're cussing yourself. You're calling yourself a dog.
Like your mum calling you son of a bitch.
Yeah, like you're right, fam. Like, choose your insults better.
Yeah, it's fucking valuable, but that's what I'm saying.
That sounds lit.
Yeah, but it's
by the way, I'm on my phone just. I'm just like going
finding
for content.
You're being immature. Yeah. You're being unprofessional. Yeah, cool. It's fine, man.
Yeah, I'm on Hinge. Sorry.
Hinge, serious.
Swipe right and left.
I'm joking. I'm not.
Shout out to Muz. I found my husband on Muz. What?
This ain't a sponsor.
I'm not on any of those apps, anyways. But
go on, question.
Yeah.
This is it.
You know what? Because Hebz like brought up religion. Yeah. What happened with your religion, or like what's happening with you?
What's your stance on faith?
Wow, I'm from your. No, fuck it. There's no rules.
If you want to talk about it, you don't have
no, there's no point. No point me running. I'm in a space of exposure right now. My thing is now exposure. How can I want to understand everything. Now I don't believe religion is bullshit. I believe religion allows a path and a foundation. That's my thing. Like I can turn around and say, yeah, religion is bullshit, it has no value, and I believe this, but that's very uncharacteristic of me. Well,
you do want to dive in deeper to really unpack it.
No, not necessarily. It's like I have no intention to understand religions individually. I have more of an intention to understand life as a whole and as a whole thing. I think religion is a very specific part. It's very because everyone has a different belief systems. Like there's so many different belief systems. My thing is now let me briefly understand all of them and take the value from each one of them. And kind of develop my own thing.
You're gonna be a spiritual guy, innit? Or the agnostic guy.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but yeah, sure. Give me give me labels so you understand.
No, but do you know what? So there's this interesting balance, right? Because you can be someone who lives in a faith, and they're too scared to look out in fear of what they'll find, and there's also those who overly search that they start jumping into maybe different concepts that's maybe agenda based. It's like a very like social, like the internet is a very
basically joining the cult.
It's so no, yeah, exactly. So the internet will give you different agendas, different things because they're trying to push a narrative, innit? Yeah. But then you also can't.
Internet. Is the internet? Can I ask you a question though on that? Yeah, just quickly. Sorry to.
Man can't land the point, no?
Wow. You said fuck your point.
Wow.
No. Do you know what it is? I'm on the Gary Vee thing. You just made me think of something. But yeah, go on. Go on. Finish your point.
Say it with the letters.
No, that's the O.
I know, but you said wow.
Go on, finish the point.
As well. Are you mad?
But
I'm about the animation.
Finish the point.
I'm done with my point, yeah?
I forgot what I wanted to say now.
Oh, the tab done closed. The computer crashed.
Up to your software.
Anyway, say your thing again. I might remember.
So it's just like, do you choose to live ignorantly within the knowledge that you have and just let that lead you through life? Or do you reach out a little bit, but then you don't want to reach out just a bit? You have to. I feel like you have to kind of like to see all ends, like all sides of a coin before you can sort of decide. And I feel like that's a bit dangerous as well because there's a high level percentage of that that's just man-made to try and put you off something, or has like, you know, they'll say like, oh, this faith does this and this, because they're trying to steer you away from anything.
With that second one, the letter, it's just who's better at persuading, who's a master manipulator kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like when if I expose myself to everything and I take a seat and have a conversation with each specific
like I'm trying to sell you a business and you're like, oh, I'm going to invest in you.
Yeah, exactly. And each one of them are just very good at fucking manipulating. Like some would say that religion is one of the biggest games of Chinese whispers. It's like what the master manipulator started it, and then from there it became a whole thing and it grew over time.
So you grew up as Muslim, right? So have you ever looked into faith? Like, have you ever looked into Islam heavy?
No, not heavy, not.
Then I'd advise you to start off with what you were raised in, whatever your faith was, right? And really deep, because our parents inherited a lot of stuff that it's culture, not faith, all that jazz. They've had the little mashup of the two. Go back and learn faith. Your faith for what it is raw for yourself. I see not what our parents taught us.
One of the most valuable things Bob Singer taught me a while back is faith, and what faith truly means to him, and now by extension to me. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with belief system. It has nothing to do with, I mean, it does to belief system, but it has nothing to do with like a specific agenda. It's the idea of, so like he would describe faith as a grandfather. Faith is like the grandfather. Belief is the father, and hope is the child.
Nice.
And the idea of like faith is like, you don't have to like, okay, let's say hope, for example. Hope is really, really wanting it to happen. Belief is like believing it's going to happen, I'll be fine, but I still have action necessary to make it to go my way. But faith is the belief that is so strong and intense that nothing I do would even change the fact that it will happen no matter what. No matter what I do, it will still happen. Like an example, let's say religion. Islam and Christians as well, they both believe in heaven and hell. No matter what I do, there will be a heaven, there's a hell, no matter what.
The Abrahamic faith.
I'm saying that is faith. That is like the belief system so strong that no matter what happens, it exists. Yeah. That's what the grandfather is. Like if I have faith that if like your son will become a professional footballer, is the faith will be so strong that no matter what I do, it's going to happen no matter what. So I just have that calm, kind of peaceful, watching from a distance kind of thing. So that's what faith has now become to me. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with.
So what is your purpose on this earth, and what happens once you die? I want to know where you stand with right now. You might not agree with that right now. Who you are right now might not be the person in a year's time.
Yeah, of course not.
So I'm not holding it for truth.
My honest belief system right now is what happens after I die, I'll find out when I get there. Okay. That's where I am right now.
Let me know.
Yeah? When I get there, I'll show you.
Wait. How do you know who's getting there first? Sure.
I'm just saying in general. How did you jump to that conclusion?
Because you won't let me know.
No, I might be like somewhere else at that time.
I'm saying maybe he's gone first, and then I get experience, and then we meet up in the other side.
Maybe I'm in in a whole different like thing or something.
What has happened?
I don't know.
God damn!
How do you assume in this podcast? What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah.
But no, yeah, that's where I am right now. Is like, because not to say I don't have enough evidence, but it's like I believe everyone is so strongly attached, or most people strongly attached to their belief system. It's there are so many options. I get to choose whichever one I think.
Yeah, everyone has the freedom to choose.
So
And
now, like, it's like I think my choice is now not necessarily based on evidence or truth, whatever. It's just whatever seems the coolest. So I believe in multiverse. I think multiverse is a fucking amazing concept.
Marvel.
Yeah, not Marvel. Multiverse is a scientific thing, you dickhead.
sign young things, man.
No, just
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang,
Gucci gang, Gucci bag, Gucci bags.
Just because Marvel doing the multiverse thing doesn't mean it has any relation. It's a science thing, okay? But
you know, faith and science
so
connect as well.
Yeah.
So it's a theory, though, right?
It's a theory. Yeah. What is it?
Have you seen? Hey, there's a movie you'd love, you know.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
There's a movie that you'd love. It's like it's really
no.
It's really weird. I need to remember the name, but basically it's like there's like two Earths, right? Then they're kind of next to each other, and apparently there's same people on the other Earth doing different, like some crazy concept.
So they're existing at the same time, but in different.
So like, see how like we look up and we see
this is the blurb at the back of the,
and we see the sun, or like we see the moon.
Huh?
Yeah.
So on in that movie, people look up and they see another Earth. It's fucking and apparently there's people living on the other Earth and they're trying to get to each other.
You're not telling me the story. You're just telling me the scene. You explain the scene to me. You told me like get me involved. What's the story? Tell me the story.
All right, go fuck yourself.
Fuck it. That means
No. I've got a question. How long have we got, by the way?
We got minus 20 minutes.
I was gonna say -2.
Huh?
Yeah, bro.
We're over 20. We're 20 over.
It's almost 7 o'clock.
Shit. Anyway, we're gonna start wrapping up in a sec. Anyway, but I was gonna ask you a lot. Yeah, I was doing something really like valuable. So I was reading a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Nice.
That's a long book, man.
And the person spoke about having like a personal mission statement.
Okay.
You know how like companies got mission statements.
Yeah. What they represent.
If you lot had to create one for yourself, what would it be?
Obviously don't take it word for word.
Is that what you found on
this is the
Hinge?
draft.
Yeah.
This is that is on Hinge, isn't it?
I'll share mine
Mission
after.
statement or something. But you have one defined clearly.
No. I've got a draft. I haven't finished it.
How long
it's
is
a tab,
it?
innit? I parked it as a
How
tab.
long is it?
No, it's short. It's like 5 sentences or something.
So I think obviously, like I said, this is a very rough draft because I am freestyling on the spot. So please do not judge. I think to live purposefully is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah, to live purposefully.
Full of purpose.
Yeah, to ensure that everything I do serves a purpose. To ensure that I think that's part of my purpose is to make.
You're taking a piss, mate.
What battery doing?
No, not a fool. That's because of you. Podcast, bro.
Take responsibility. Don't blame another person.
I think that was God saying shush, Hebba.
I like how he straight away blames someone else.
Who, me?
Yeah,
he blamed you.
Hebz blames other people for a reason. Things happen to me.
He blamed you for SD
memory card being full.
Yeah.
Well, that's not my problem that he's not prepared.
But anyway, your camera's still rolling. But yeah. So gone.
I think just to live with real purpose. I think that's my mission. Like my mission on this earth is to live with great purpose, and that can look in different ways. So it can be serving my family, serving my partner, serving other people that I don't even know.
Do you know what? Yeah, you don't have to do this, by the way, but I would challenge you to go a bit more in depth on your mission statement, and then if you can, because that's what I'm going to do as well, put it up in your room somewhere, just like frame it and put it up. If you can do that.
Can I see your draft, please? I can copy a template.
So,
you know them uni days. It's like, can I see your version, fam?
This is what I got so far.
What's the supporting statement?
Before it got parked as a tab, this is what I got so far. It's actually quite profound as well. So I will never cheat.
Hurry the fuck up because batteries are dying. SD cards again.
Alright, bro. Alright, anyway, so I will never cheat on anyone or anything that I do because I would be cheating on myself. I will find the love to forgive others and myself. I expect nothing and accept everything. I will build relationships based on who people are and not what they can do for me.
That's powerful.
That's sick.
Look up.
Yeah. I like that.
But I'm looking at. I'm gonna finish it and put it up. Yeah, put it up on the wall and
That's
just
sick.
see every morning.
I think give yourself some time because you might need a few drafts before you realize. Actually, wait, this part's important as well. But we gotta go.
Yeah,
but all of that business. Anyway,
what's the final question? Go on, hurry up.
You ask it.
Yeah, promote. Cameras over there. Go say things. To
Hi guys, my name's Hebz. You can follow me on Instagram. I am Hebz.
With a Z. That's what you
Over
would say. You
Z.
always say that.
Yo, you pay attention. I appreciate
Too much
you.
on podcast.
Growing Up British.h was my podcast. Also on the gram, and also Mama Hebz on YouTube, and that's where you watch the videos.
Okay, yeah, done. You only got 5 seconds. Cool.
Gang.
Last question. You have one opportunity once to say one thing to 7.9 billion people. What are you gonna say? You got 5 seconds. Go. Or
Learn to forgive yourself.
3. Thank you.
I felt a little bit pressure.
We got like 20 minutes on the SSD cards. Let's go, man.
Waste man.
All right.
You do. Uzi. I can't say
Wow.
it. I can't say it.
Uzi. What you said? Good?
Yeah.
You tired?
We out.
No.
It's crazy.
Not England's big.